Good morning. It is 9:53 a.m. in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Thursday, October the 17th, 2024. I am Christopher Moore, and this is this week's NOUNS. I am in Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA, at the Hennepin County Public Library, 300 Nicollet Mall, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I did the date and time on my Acer laptop. And there are 6 nouns this week. The first noun is in regards to the United States of America's National Spectrum Strategy. In particular, I printed this out because of the 4 pillars. However, I don't understand the 4 pillars. And also, I first found this strategy in a association in Washington, D.C., the CTIA, whose executive director used to be Seattle Seahawks quarterback, member of the National Football League Hall of Fame, Steve Largent. What is important to me is spectrum sharing. Another reason why this is important is because this is one of the largest income generators for the United States of America, revenue from selling licenses that are part of the Federal Communications Commission. Our corporations like Disney, Comcast, Paramount, Fox, and cell phones, AT&T, Verizon, paying the federal government for their licenses. What is the tariff updates every week? What are the tariff updates and how often are they for the Federal Communications Commission? With that, the Federal Communications Commission versus Pacifica Foundation, the most important thing are what are the 7 words that can't be said on television? Now, I think that's pay television, not Netflix, streaming, internet. That started with morality and media and the 7 words said by comedian George Carlin in 1972. It's in regards to the Communications Act of 1934 and First Amendment. Now, to me, this also is about growing up in central Pennsylvania, in Lancaster County, Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, the Philadelphia Phillies and the Philadelphia 76ers. The Philadelphia Phillies didn't play in the Spectrum. The Philadelphia 76ers and the Philadelphia Flyers played in the Spectrum. So then, and they were the first ones to appear on pay television called Prison. Right. For example, it's HBO, and the L Word is on Showtime. Prison was before HBO and Showtime. I grew up, and I didn't grow up. In high school, I played a golf course that was called Indian Springs Golf Course, and then Indian Springs Golf Club, Four Seasons Golf Club. In the neighborhood, in that same town, were the headquarters for International Signal and Control, ISC. When ISC bought the golf course and the tennis complex, they changed the name from Indian Springs Golf Club to Four Seasons Golf. No. The 7 words that can't be said in other law pertaining to the Federal Communications Commission is that settled law. Right? When Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar asked what is now United States Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, I'm pretty sure it was Senator Amy Klobuchar, maybe Senator Dianne Feinstein. They talked about Roe v. Wade, abortion, settled law. Obviously, Roe v. Wade was overturned, not settled law. What laws are settled and what laws are not settled with regards to the Federal Communications Act of 1934 and the Federal Communications Commission and airwaves? Then I hear. government's interest in protecting audiences, or government's interest in protecting audience. And broadcasters' First Amendment right. Governments is plural, broadcasters are plural. Two B is that's 2A. Part 2B is Howard Stern, and Howard Stern's being fined before he went to satellite radio. The FCC broadened its guidelines in 1987, meaning it could fine people for more than the Senate ones. Part of it, the Super Bowl halftime in 38, Super Bowl 38, Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson, He God Bless. 1978, when children could be listening, the Federal Communications Commission's authority. Sure, with the internet, children are always listening. The important thing is, as a Howard Stern fan, as a Howard Stern listener, remembering, this is week number 42 out of 52 weeks, remembering 2 weeks ago, now week 40, or 3 weeks ago, week 39, that early in Howard Stern's career, he was a disc jockey in Washington, D.C. To me, that's important. It's just enough Washington, D.C. being in New York. The word national syndication. Noun 3. I have access to TASS.RU. That's Russia, just like my alma mater, the University of Western Ontario, UWO.ca. I picked one thing. When I look at TASS.RU, it's usually in December, when President Putin gives his annual address. He walks through the big doors, open up, he walks through out of podium, spectrum, lectern, and gives his annual address to Russian media and Russian people. Other thing I look at is Russian space. They built the International Space Station. So, for whatever reason, this week, I picked one thing, and it's about nuclear. Obviously, I'm against, for the most part, nuclear, going up 9 miles from 3 Mile Island. It's about the ITER project, it's thermonuclear reactor. Now, the reactor is thermonuclear versus reactor versus nuclear, I do not know. The goal of the project is to show the scientific and technological feasibility of using thermonuclear energy on an industrial scale, as well as develop special technologies. The European Union is part of this project, as well as 6 other countries: India, China, Republic of Korea, Russia, the United States, and Japan. Right, there's UAE and one other country not part of this project. Russia enterprises are responsible for the production of 25 unique systems of the future facility, and something ROSATOM enterprises. The fourth noun this week is in regards to the New York Times and their ethical journalism. One of my favorite reporters for the New York Times is David Sanger. Even before COVID-19, obviously, to me, he and McNeil were the reporters for the New York Times that wrote a lot about COVID-19. Morning Joe, Axios on HBO, and sometimes I think of them anthrax bioterrorism. So what I do sometimes, even though I don't have access to the New York Times and I don't have money to pay for the New York Times online, what did he write recently? What did he report? So when I looked at what David E. Sanger wrote and reported recently, that's the first time I saw the New York Times journalistic ethics and how he and other reporters interpret that on the New York Times bio, just like NBC News Media Village bio. Or similar. There are 14 bolding words plus an appendix on ethical journalism. 37 pages. I only print out the first 2 pages. Important part, the reputation of the Times rests upon such perceptions, and so do the professional reputations of its staff members. Integrity. The paper's integrity. Both hands. Fifth down this week comes from Axios' code book. Number 2, Wayback Machine backup after DDoS attacks. Scott Rosenberg in the October 15th, 2024 Axios code book. The first time I ever heard the Wayback Machine was April of 2023, before I went to Washington, D.C., departing Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA on May 15th, 2023, arriving in Washington, D.C. on May 17th, 2023. I just put my left foot equal with my right foot. And I was looking at the Oxford group, the precursor to Alcoholics Anonymous. The Internet Archive was back up yesterday with some limits after spending nearly a week offline following a data breach and distributed denial of service attack. The archive and its Wayback Machine are a unique, irreplaceable resource recording decades of web history. I believe this has to do with my own personal life, starting when the internet went public in 1995, 1996 through 2023. The attack on the Wayback Machine became public on 10/9/24. Now, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I said the word Tel Aviv, thinking, how did Israel create the word Tel Aviv? What does that have to do with my life? What does that have to do with the telephone? Bombs, Tel Aviv, war. 2 weeks ago, I said the word DOS, MS-DOS, when I learned computers in 1989. I was on an MS-DOS computer, using a Microsoft program, really called Microsoft Works. You need to take a 3.5-inch diskette, put in Microsoft DOS, take out Microsoft DOS, put in the diskette Microsoft Works, start using a laptop computer. The keywords there, I said MS-DOS, I said Tel Aviv, bombs, DDoS attacks. My computer was on beta, The Acer laptop computer was on beta mode, week 39 to 42. Computer was changed to developer channel, beta channel, developer channel last night. It was last on developer channel, excuse me, January, February, and that's in regards to a red and blue striped tie from the Catholic Church in Wilmington, Delaware, which I was given October 18th or 19th, 2023, when I was in Wilmington, Delaware, before going to visit my dad, my mom's sister, and my mom's mother in Littleton, Pennsylvania. This week's sixth noun is from the World Health Organization, an organization I think needs more reporting because of COVID-19. They just finished their World Health Summit for 2024 in Berlin, Germany, October 13th through the 15th. They have a YouTube channel, WHS. They announced 6 circles that are essential topics, that were essential topics for the World Health Summit in 2024. Also note my YouTube channel, at Christopher Moore 6844. And obviously you know the blog, www.MakeThatPutt.blogspot.com. This is important, and the reason why I'm promoting this now, World Health Organization, is because of the 7 to 8 million people that died of COVID-19 on planet Earth. Are the corporate interests. Why would it be more than the 7 to 8 million people that died? At 14 minutes and 51 seconds, 52 seconds, 53 seconds, 54 seconds, 55 seconds, 56 seconds, 57 seconds. The more you know.